Welcome to r/EntitledParents. In today's stories, EM ruins a Super Smash Bros. Competition. I don't care if your sister has a broken hand and cancer. And EM tries to take a $2,000 gaming PC because I'm not using it to play games. What is up, guys, and I do hope you're well, and welcome back to another episode of r/EntitledParents. If you do enjoy Reddit stories, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe that notification bell. I really can't stress how much of a difference that makes for this channel, really does. And with that being said, let's get into today's stories. This story is from Dent Aoli. EM comes in and ruins Super Smash Bros. Competition because you're not reading in here, go away. Okay, so about an hour ago I was at a local SSBU tournament I've gone to for a few years. I was in the match playing Olimar Final Destination and about to hit a nice Pikmin shot when we hear screaming. EM entitled Mother, K Kid, AN Announcer, me. Now I was sitting there and the game has stopped as we all turned round to see a mother and a child screaming at us to stop. She had books in her hand and the child, I think was about 8 or 9, was sitting there with some chapter book. We were all confused as she comes up to the stand yelling at us to turn it off. Then she starts to rant. "What's all this?" the EM screamed. The AN stunned says it's a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate tournament and asks why she's screaming. "I want all this gone. This is a library. Where are the books? And what is all this stuff doing here? This is a place of learning, not your childish games." Now it's important to note that the library said this was fine and even advertised it on the billboard. I was up front chilling and we kind of watched this happen. She looked at me and screamed about how I'm ruining her kid's life with games and told us to leave or she would call the manager and police for harming a little kid. Now the event was about to end in an hour or so the head librarian was coming in to tell everyone that we might have to wrap it up soon, and she comes in to see a 30-something-year-old woman yelling at the AN who was about 16. She hit the button and in less than a minute a security guard escorts her out. She yells at the guard how she wants her books and this is gonna stunt her child's growth and this isn't learning, and then she was escorted out. We kind of just continued the game. This story is from Has505681. I don't care if your sister has a broken hand and cancer, she should still play video games with my son. This happened yesterday and I'm still trying to get over it myself. Some backstory. My younger sister was diagnosed with cancer early 2017. As of now, she's still having treatment and we're uncertain about when her treatment will end. Yesterday, she tried to walk to the bathroom from her bed. She slipped and landed awkwardly on her hand. Luckily when we got to hospital, it was just a buccal fracture. It's not very serious, but it requires a splint. She didn't need a cast and it was in her left hand, so I was happy with the outcome, as it could have easily been worse. Anyway, later on that day, she was feeling a little upset. My mum went out to get us all a McDonald's. I was just spending time with LS, little sister, and helping her out with what she needed while my mum picked up the food. Enter EU, entitled Uncle, and EK, entitled Kid, around 8 years old. They visit fairly often and we're used to them arriving. Because of how annoying they are to LS, I always keep my PS4 with games like FIFA and Fortnite installed downstairs so any kids who visit stay away from my younger sister and they don't bug anyone else. EK said, "Hi everyone!" Me, surprised to see them. "Oh, hi EK, how are you?" "Okay, can I play on the Switch?" The Switch is for LS. It always stays in her room and she takes to hospital when she has to stay. I say, that isn't going to be possible. Little sister hurt her hand and she can't be near people. Have you seen her splint?" Obviously I saw the splint. "Then you know she can't, and you also know that if the PS4 were games you like downstairs, I'll be down soon and I'll play with you." I should add that I bought the PS4 games I never use for the purpose of keeping visitors away from LS. Her immune system can't handle people visiting, but EU's family fail to understand. I prefer keeping them downstairs, it's less pressure for LS and puts me at ease knowing she's okay. EK says, "No, I want to play on the Switch with LS." I then suggest for EK to take the Switch handheld and take it downstairs. EK then throws a tantrum, enter EU upstairs to LS's room. Entitled Uncle says, "What did you do to upset him?" I told him that he can't play on the Switch with LS. I then told him to go on the PS4. Then I said take the Switch handheld downstairs. "Are you really telling me that a splint on her left arm stops her from playing games?" I'm slightly shocked. Yes it does, plus she's tired from being at hospital all day, getting her arm sorted. Let her rest. I don't care if she's tired or has a broken arm, that shouldn't stop her from playing games with EK. I'm just shocked at this point. Then my mum arrives home with McDonald's. To shut up EK, I give him my McFlurry and told him to stay downstairs and go on the PS4. EK did just that. I told him to load Fortnite on the PS4 and play it, his eyes lit up and there were no other arguments. We still try to recover from this scenario because LS was left upset by what EK and EU said. It's disgusting that their motivation to come to our house was to play on the Switch and eat our food. I didn't mind giving the McFlurry, all I cared about was LS being happy. Especially after hurting her hand and all the other crap she's been through in the past 2 years. Can you believe that entitled uncle? I can sort of get the kid. Kids are like that, you know. Kids just want to play with everything. They're just chaos. Kids are chaos. That's all there is to it. But an uncle, an adult saying that as well. Come on, man. Our next story is from Robo Dragon. EM tries to take my $2,000 gaming PC because I'm not using it to play games. Okay, this happened fairly recently, like a couple of months ago, but I didn't put it into writing until now. You thought my only EP experience was my other story I posted? Oh no, unfortunately I deal with a lot of EPs, because apparently my many hobbies / interests are too good for me, or I don't deserve nice things, so entitled people think they can take my stuff, or try to take advantage of me for being a nice person. It doesn't help that I'm a middle class person, living in a pretty upscale / spoiled rich kid community. I'll admit, I had people use me as a freaking doormat for years, some were former close friends, but lately I had enough and my tolerance for these kind of people is very small. Most of my EP stories are small and uneventful, but this is not one of those stories. With that said, here's the story of how an EM thought a little demon spawn deserved my brand new PC because I was misusing it. It's kind of long, so I'll put a TLDR at the bottom. Some background: ever since I graduated high school, I had a love of engineering, design, metrology, science of measurement, and 3D modelling. I'm now a professional in metrology field with a strong mechanical and design engineering background, and I still 3D model things as a side hobby and occasionally work with people who need models for 3D printing. Patent drawings, 3D animations to demonstrate ideas, lots of things. Recently, my trusty old workhorse PC died. I've been nursing it for a while, but the thing was almost 10 years old, and it was just time for an upgrade anyway. I needed a computer that would handle my 3D modelling software, as well as my several drawing programs. I draw and do digital paintings as a hobby as well. The best fit for me ended up being a gaming laptop that cost over $2,000. As a comparison, my computer was about $800 brand new, so this was a major upgrade for me. I love this laptop, it's fast, handles my software without breaking a sweat, and I get to play some great PC games on it as well without lags or crashes. The only downside is that it's fairly heavy and awkward to carry around due to having a large wide screen, but that's it. It's a serious machine and it gets crap done. A week after I got the laptop, a friend of my dad contacted me and asked if I could do some 3D modelling and animation work for a brand new invention he came up with that was recently patented. I won't go into details because he's protective of his idea. I don't blame him, it's pretty original and helpful, but I agreed to get started right away. I work full time, so I can only work on projects like this after I get home or on the weekends. I found the best place to do my work is not actually at home, but a small, family-owned coffee shop near my house. It's a popular little place next to a community college, and many students go there to hang out and work on their assignments while grabbing a quick snack and a hot drink. I love working here because I like the atmosphere and I concentrate better with the mild background noise, and a calm coffee shop setting is perfect. I usually visit the shop once a week, usually a Saturday afternoon, and the employees know me well. Every day I visit is the same thing. I get my pastry and cup of tea, find a quiet corner all to myself where I can't be bothered, set up my computer and start working. This went on without incident for weeks until the following happened. The cast: me, antisocial coffee shop dweller; EM entitled mum; EK entitled kid; NE nice employee; my hero and my friend. So as I explained above, it's a typical Saturday afternoon for me. I was in the corner working on my laptop and I've been there for a good hour already. I was in the zone, so focused on my work that I was kind of in my own little world and not paying attention to anything else, until I heard the obnoxious giggling and screeching from a small, misbehaving child. The shop is small, but long and rectangular, with a counter and registers and small kitchen in the middle. Near the front and large dining area in the back, they're kind of wrapped around the central kitchen and registers like a horseshoe. I was way in the back corner and I heard this kid who was way up front with his mum. He was maybe 7, but could have been older. I don't judge ages very well. and was prancing around his mum loudly laughing and just being annoying. Look, I get it, it's a happy kid, and normally laughing kids put a smile on my face, but this was a quiet coffee shop that me and a lot of college students use to work and study. It's not a place for a loud child, and he was getting annoyed looks from many other customers. As you may have guessed, this kid and his mum are the EK and EM of this story. EM didn't even seem to mind that a child was disturbing other patrons, and even a couple of other employees were rolling their eyes at these two. The child then starts to run around the whole place as if it were a playground, running up to tables, flying past them and making loud noises the entire time. Again, EM didn't seem to care at all. She was now next in line and was placing our order. I thought good, they will be out of here shortly, but I was wrong. After EM got her food and drink, she sat down in the back corner opposite me. Her kid sat down momentarily to stuff a muffin into his mouth, then continued his rampage through the dining area. Too stubborn and engrossed in my work to pack up and leave, I bring out my noise cancelling headphones to try and drown out EK's thunder and feet and loud voice. This worked for a while until I heard a loud voice right next to me. EK loudly, "What are you doing?" I turned to see EK sitting on the chair next to me, muffin crumbs all over his face and mystery stains on his shirt. I'm annoyed but still calm. "Oh, I'm just working." "What are you working on?" It's hard to explain, but I'm making a model. I turn my computer so he can see the screen. "See?" "What game is that?" "Oh no, this isn't a game. It's modelling software I use for work." "Why aren't you playing a game?" "Well, I do play games, but I'm working right now. I'm actually pretty busy, so can you go back over to your mum, please?" "But that computer's for games." "Well, it is a gaming laptop, but I use it for work too." EK then placed a finger on my computer near the keyboard, where it has a sticker full of icons that describe what I can do and some sort of specs. One of these icons is a game controller with gaming written under it. He looks up with me with the most fake pouty face I've ever seen, as if he's trying to prove a point. "Yeah, I know, but I got it because I need it for my work too. Most other computers can't handle my modelling software, but this one does." "Well, can I play on it? I'm bored." "I'm sorry kid, but I'm busy and I really need to get my work done. Can you please go back to your mum?" EK flashes me another pouty look and walks over to his mum, seemingly defeated. I put my headphones back on and crank up my music because I was expecting the following to happen, and it did. EM said, "Hello?" I can faintly hear her over my music, but I ignore her, my failed attempt to get rid of her. "Excuse me, miss. Hello? Don't ignore me. I know you can hear me." After realising she wasn't going to leave me alone, I sighed and take off my headphones. "Yes?" I said it kind of sarcastically, as I was about at my limit with these two already. "Don't be so rude. I was wondering why my son can't play on your computer for a bit. It'll only be a few minutes." "Lady, I don't want to let him play on my computer." "Why are you being so rude? I've done nothing to you." "Well, you let your kid run around like a wild animal while me and most of others here are trying to get work done. This is a coffee shop, not a playground." "Why can't you just be nice? My son is bored, that's all. If you want him to stop running around, why don't you give him something to do? Let him play on your computer." "Why don't you give him something to do? I'm not his mum, you are." EK then seems to realise that acting up may get him to play on my computer, so he starts running around and making noises again. EM says, "That's a gaming laptop anyway, it's for playing games. I'm sure you have games on there. Just let my son play for a few minutes and he'll stop." I said, "Lady, I doubt you know the difference between a gaming computer and a typewriter, so what if it's a gaming laptop? I use it to get work done and it's expensive, so I'm not going to let some random kid start playing with it. It's my computer, so I can do what I want with it. Now leave me alone." "If you can't use things as intended, why can't you just give it to my son? He loves to play games, he'll put it to good use." "Mum, I'm not telling you again. The answer is no. Didn't your parents tell you not to take other people's things, or were they just as rude and entitled as you are?" "I'm not being rude. You're being rude, and you're being selfish too. Just let my son use the computer for 5 minutes. I start to pack up my things, close my laptop, and start to slide it into his case. "Where are you going?" "I'm leaving. I need to get my work done, and you ruined that. Thanks, and F you." EM just stared at me with mouth agape as I get up to walk away. EK realises he isn't going to get his way, and starts to fake wail and cry as his mum follows me. "You stop right there. You can't take my son's computer like that." At this point, the employee sees us, and one of them walks over. This is NE, and she's actually a girl I went to high school with. We were never really friends, but we knew each other well enough that we knew each other's names and would occasionally talk. NE said, "Mum, is there a problem?" "Yes, there is. This woman was rude to me and my son. She even swore in front of us. She's also taken my son's laptop." "Mum, this lady comes here all the time, and we've seen her use that computer. I don't think she ever gave it to you." I say she's upset because she wanted her son to play the laptop, and I wouldn't let him. "Mum, that is her laptop. She doesn't have to let your son play it." What is the harm in it? My son is bored and wants something to do. So we should just let him use the laptop. It's a gaming computer anyway, and she wasn't playing games on it. She wasn't using it right at all. Mom, calm down. We saw your son acting up earlier and asked you before to keep him under control, but now he's bothered one of the customers. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Robo, you can stay if you want. I'm sorry for the trouble. How can you defend such a rude woman and kick out a paying customer? She's just here to use a computer. I doubt she even paid for anything here. This is a coffee shop, not a computer lab. I'm a paying customer too, and lots of people come here to work on stuff. We're near a college campus. What do you expect? So you're all just greedy millennials. You need to respect your elders and your customers. Please leave, Mum. I'm not going to ask again. Ian grabs her crying son and heads for the door, but not before turning their dress in the entire coffee shop. You're all rude, selfish, effing millennials. You need to learn some respect. She then leaves and slams the door behind her, hard enough to knock down the sign hanging from it. And he apologises to me again and offers me a free pastry, but I turn it down. After I cooled off, I sat back down at my table, but I was no longer in the mood to work. I sat there and drew on my computer instead. Annie then came over on her break and talked with me for a bit. We're actually good friends now, and she still works in the shop, and I see her every time I go there to work. I've never seen EM or EK again, but this is a fairly small town. It may not be the last time I see them. Hopefully, since this coffee shop is filled with rude and selfish millennials, EM will stay away and I can work in peace from now on. So what do you, rude and selfish millennials, think of that story? Let me know in the comments below. I'm just joking, don't get triggered please. I'm losing enough subscribers just lately. As always guys, thank you so much for being here. Sorry it's been a couple of days since my last post, been some family stuff going on. Slightly triggered by the way YouTube's treating this channel as well. All that kind of good stuff, but you're here again, watching the video. You made it this far and you're still watching the outro. Love you guys, take care, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.